All right, and we are live. Cody's just joined me. I'll bring him up in 1 second. Uh, we are here to review and go through an incredibly up and down game. Pistons are now 2-0 in the NBA Cup. They beat the Raptors 99-95 in Toronto. And last thing, if you want to come up, talk about the game, I've got Cody up first. I was hoping to have the Pistons' new athletic beat reporter, Hunter, but I don't think he's going to be able to join. So after Cody, it's free air. If you want to join, send me a DM and we'll get you up here. But I'm going to bring up Cody now. How you feeling, man?
Great.
Yeah, I'm
Great.
good now.
I'm Mr. Positive, baby.
That's it. That's it. 3 positives.
3 positives, baby.
Well, let's just get straight into it. Let's do 3 positives because I think in the end there was 3 positives.
Marcus Sasser, Wendell Moore, Stu, who didn't play enough,
Yep.
and
Ron.
overall defense.
Yeah. Okay. So
The
Ron
4.
doesn't make the cut because of the threes. Ron Holland.
He does make the cut. He does. I didn't love
Maybe
his shot
Ron's
selection.
first half.
Yeah, I didn't love his shot selection.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I agree with you. And sorry, I cut you off there. I just was curious your thoughts on Ron, but yeah, feel free to go through those positives.
I mean, this team, there's no room for him, but there's no room for either of them. But quietly, I mean, I said it the other day. I said Wendell Moore doesn't deserve to be an NBA player. And he made me eat my words tonight, at least. He played really big. He played really big tonight. I see I'm already getting roasted for that, but I mean, we're talking about a guy who had a true shooting percentage of 44% in the G League last year. So the evidence that he does belong on an NBA court is not exactly paramount, to say the least. But yeah, I mean, he was excellent defensively, and he did what he needed to do. He scored the baskets he needed to score. I mean, I think the only shot he missed was the 3, maybe another layup, but I know he missed the 3 in the corner.
Yeah, no, he was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he was all over. He had that great block. I wish towards the end of that game he would have just caught that ball, held it for a second, and then made the pass to Cade. You can tell he rushed it there, and I think Cade was looking for the ball there, but I think you just catch it and then look.
Yeah, just take a breath, take a moment. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. But he was great. Sasser was excellent, minus the one time he got stripped by Davion Mitchell.
Yeah.
But that play he made on the blind side on that lob to Pirtle was excellent. And you know, he was, I mean, you're talking about a couple toes away from this game being even more comfortable, and then 2 in and out threes in the corner on that one possession. I mean, it could have been really comfortable if those shots just went down. He had a size smaller shoe, but I mean, he was just a breath of fresh air in the fact that I'm so sick and tired of watching Cade and Ivy get sped up constantly. He never got sped up. He never ever got sped up. He was under control, made the right pass, utilized Stu and Durant at the top of the key when he was in trouble. He was just really solid. He was really solid.
Absolutely. Like when we were talking, like Sasser's the biggest critique on him is like his lack of playmaking and he holds the ball for a bit long. But recently what we've seen where, like you said, teams just pressure Ivy and Cade, and like Marcus has such a good handle that he can absorb that. And there's a sense of like, I think I messaged you saying I actually feel the most comfortable with him having the ball right now, just because I trust his ball secure. And I know he got stripped by Davion, but his handle's not as loose. I don't know. Like he can just absorb the pressure a little bit better, I felt.
Yeah, and Davion does that too a lot. Davion's a good, I mean, in college he was an incredible defender, and he's still a good defender in the NBA. He's super quick. He can move laterally super well. I mean, Davion Mitchell's no slouch defensively. Say what you want about him as a total overall player, but he is no slouch defensively.
Yeah. And can I ask you, you mentioned Stu, you thought he should have played more minutes. which I agree with. I thought he was excellent tonight in the minutes he played. I do think Jakob Poeltl honestly was just having one of those nights for a little bit towards like in that third quarter and that kind of thing. But yeah, what was your thoughts on the Stu Duran type thing? I don't want to go too negative early here. I'm sure we'll get to it, but just talk a bit more about Stu's game.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it a lot. I think he kept the ball moving on offense. He had that huge tip in and one. He didn't rebound great. Nobody really rebounded great tonight.
Yeah,
But he for a big stretch of that game, he played really well defensively. He did get caught in between on overhelping on RJ Barrett and then giving Jakob Poeltl those easy like 6-foot push shots that he's really good at. But I mean, the difference between Stu and Durant on the defensive end is so glaring, and
it's crazy.
the gap is wider than the Grand Canyon. It really is. It's so, and I was so during that third quarter, I was getting so mad at Durant's effort,
Yeah.
so mad, like I was furious. I was punching my couch so hard. Again, shout out to the soft ass couch I have. Sorry. That's the first one I dropped. Wow, I think that's the first one I've dropped in all this time. That's a record. All the minutes before have been recorded. I want that on the record. But no, I don't get why like Duran's motor just idles for so
Can I?
long and then he decides to turn it on for a 4-minute burst. It's like,
And I think
dude, you
yeah.
cannot just go in there and have a 5-minute stretch where you're not doing anything effort wise.
The
It just
thing with
bothers
him,
me.
you know what bothers me as well? His hands are down by his side so often, right? And like, not like maybe this is all part of the motor, but his hands are so like he just keeps them down low, kind of outstretched a little bit. You watch Stu defend, he's like waving his arm back and forth, just creating a bit of chaos that like, whereas Durant, it's just like the ball handler just dribbles at him. And like I think Special K brought it up on the broadcast, which I think was actually a good shout. Like he said Jakob Poeltl's like screens are really opening things up. Like you really see, like that's what a good screener does. Like it makes it hard for the guard to fight over, and it just creates all these 2-on-1s all the time. But I just find Duran like his hands are so like just it doesn't. They're just sitting by his side, or they're slightly up. Like just a little thing I've been noticing that's kind of frustrating me.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, Stu is very active hands defensively, and that's key because you never know when you're going to get a tip pass. You never know when, like, I mean, Stu had what two or three
Yeah,
blocks tonight. Like, you just never know when those active hands are going to matter. And to your point, Duran is just, and to me, it just really feels like an effort thing. Like,
yeah,
I think he can be better just simply by trying more.
yeah.
I don't, I don't know, like, if the ankle's still not 100% or what it is. Like, maybe he's just not comfortable moving yet. I don't know, but
Yeah.
man, it's frustrating.
I'm at the point where I need him to change numbers because he's literally reminding me too much of Andre Drummond. Like it's like I need him to get a new number, man. Like come out and just like because it is yeah. I don't want to be too negative early here, but because there was positives, but yeah, we'll probably touch more on him. I want to ask you just about we've spoken about Sasa, we've spoken about more. I want to ask you about Ron Holland's game. Plenty to love. I think that's like Ron Holland. That game is him, like in a nutshell.
the The thing I loved about Ron tonight is he was confident from the jump as soon as he
Yeah.
came in.
Yeah.
And that's what really mattered to me. I was that's the main thing I was looking for is he confident? You know, is he ready? Is he coming out ready to play? And I think he really did. I think he came out ready to play, and he was super confident. He's so active defensively, and he gives so much effort on the defensive end. Um, like I do want to see. I'm hoping that in one of these games they're actually up by a good amount in the fourth quarter, and they can just see what Ron and Asar look like in a
Yeah.
lineup with like Stu or Duran, just to see how much that would bother teams. Because he really is a good defender, and the effort, the motor. Like you want to talk about a guy with a motor with
Yeah.
that dog in him. Ron Holland is that guy. He's
Literally.
that block he had, and then he freaking runs straight into the pad, bounces off, gets up laughing. Like he's just a crazy person, man. I think he's like Stu. He's a maniac.
I love it. Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
do
so,
too.
so true.
I thought for a minute there though, when the Pistons started to grab control, he was shooting them out of it.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that. Like, I get they're leaving you wide open, but as the saying goes, they're leaving you wide open for a reason. They want you to take that shot, and he proved again tonight that he just can't hit it, and that is whatever. But on the positive, made all his free throws.
Yeah. Huge positive. 4-4, was it?
Yep, 4-4. Turns out when it's not in clutch moments, very good free throw shooter.
Yeah. I actually rewatched those missed free throws and he looked more nervous than I remember.
No, dude, he
Yeah.
he had pee running down his legs for sure.
Yeah. No, I think I'm with you. It's a having better awareness of the game and situation with those threes. If you're 0 of 1 or it's in the first half and you're 0 of 2, I don't mind it. But like you said, I think it was in the third quarter. Pistons are down like 6 points. Nothing's really working offensively. Like you just can't. You've already missed like 4. Just drive or swing. Like get rid of the ball.
Yeah.
Like those are the ones, and that's where like I think his game goes from great to just kind of an okay game. Like energy was great, but some of those shots really cost the Pistons.
Yeah. But I think what is important and we have to remember is like for him to become a great player,
Yeah,
he needs to get teams to respect that 3-point shot.
yeah,
Because once he can drive off that and get past guys with like a shot fake or even the threat that he might pull it, I mean, he's a pretty decent finisher. So
yeah.
I mean, he's got it. That's got to be part of his development, and um, that's why I think it might be a good idea to send him to the G League
Yeah.
to just let him work on his offense more. And when the Pistons, because I mean, unless Asar is like, which I saw that report that one guy had, he's going to be out another 1 to 2 months. I don't know where he got that from. I have not seen anything on Asar since we got the news that he was coming back. I got
Yeah.
nothing. I've seen nothing.
Yeah, I
So
saw that and panicked. I was Googling everything.
yeah, unless Asar's out for another 1 to 2 months, I think send him down to the G League and let him go down there and try to do some stuff offensively, and where it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like the shot selection doesn't matter as much. Obviously, you want to instill good process,
Yeah.
but in the G League, the shot selection doesn't matter as much. So maybe
Yeah.
he goes down there, he gets a little more confidence offensively, makes a few more threes, gets to take a few more threes, and then maybe later in the season you bring him back up. And I think they'll keep him on the roster for the most part. I think he'll do like an up and down thing
Yeah.
potentially. But yeah, I mean, I thought Ron's game was still good. The shot selection bothered me, but I mean, he's just got so much energy and effort, and I just love that about him. Every
Well,
NBA team needs guys like that.
absolutely. And I think just particularly after, like, because he was good in that Bucks game, and we spoke about that. But just the way that game ended, like you said, knocked down all his free throws, immediately had energy. Didn't look like he was smiling. Didn't look like he'd lost any confidence at all. And I thought his first half was awesome. And he still had a couple of energy plays in the second half, but yeah, figure out those threes a bit more. And I think like I personally I fully get your idea with the G League. I just think keep him on the main roster unless he's literally not getting minutes
Yeah,
for
well,
like
that's the thing. How
weeks
many
on
minutes
end.
can he get when Asar
But
comes back?
and I know that's what you mean. I think like he's genuinely helping this team win though with like some of these plays.
Oh
So
no, and I agree. I
yeah,
just think that you're gonna get that same impact or more from Asar.
yeah,
I
yeah,
would argue more. And if you can only scratch him out 5 minutes a game, is that better than him going and playing 30 in the G League?
yeah. I hear you.
That's
No,
that's the only thing.
yeah, no, I hear you. I want to take this to probably this is probably going to end up a bit of a negative one, but Just Football Academy Australia, and we'll talk about Cade's game off the back of this. Same question as last time, guys, just a little different. Would we prefer Cade had a great game and we lose, or Cade struggled shooting but we win?
Win, 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 win.
Yeah,
Every time. It's not
yeah,
even a question. I want to win basketball games. I don't care if Cade shoots 0 of 37
yeah,
and they win. I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't.
yeah. No, I'm with you. I must admit that third quarter where he like chucked 3 or 4 shots in a row, I was losing my mind because I was just like, I feel like you're forcing it now, and not giving up's too harsh, but you're just not helping the team at all. But yeah, apart from that little stretch, like I don't care. What did he finish? Like
6
5
of
of 18?
21.
6 of 21. Okay. Yeah, like not ideal, but if they win, I honestly don't care.
Yeah, I mean the last 2 games he shot 17 of 55.
Yeah, wow. His percentages will take a massive hit.
Dude, I mean 17 of 55. That's
Yeah.
real bad.
Yeah.
That's
No.
below 30% from the field. Not even from 3, from the field. That's
Yeah, no.
bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like, and I know we obviously will take the win no matter what, but I thought he was bad. Like
Atrocious.
that was the worst game I've seen him play this season. Easy.
And the Bucks game was
Yeah.
you got 1A and 1B 2 games in a row.
Yeah.
Like I wonder how bad the back spasms are bothering him because he did not look comfortable shooting at all.
Yeah.
No lift on the jumper at all. And I know he doesn't get a ton of lift on his jumper. That's not really him. But like, it looked like he could not get his knees involved at all. Like, you could not get. It just looks so stiff and bad, and I'm just like, oh.
I do wonder, like a back spasm, something like you can rest the game and it fixes itself. Is it just something you've just got to constantly keep monitor? Like,
I mean, I don't know. I've never had them.
yeah,
and I don't know enough about them. I've never gotten back spasms before in my life.
yeah.
I've never
I mean,
thrown on my back or anything, so I don't.
like it makes sense. Like a back is like having a bad back's going to affect your shooting. So maybe we put it down to that. But at the end of the day, he's on the court, and yeah, I thought tonight was he did make a crucial 3. I thought off a Sasa pass. But man, he was out of sorts just the whole game. I felt like just
Yeah, I mean,
at least against the Bucks, he had a couple of stretches like towards the end of the 4th and a little bit in overtime, even though it was over. But tonight was just like, scoring wise, there's just a struggle the whole game.
I mean, I thought I mean, I don't know how many turnovers he had, but I thought his assist to turnover ratio was pretty good tonight. It had to be.
Yeah.
I think he had like 10 or maybe 10 assists, 11 assists. I don't know how many did he have. Do you know?
Yeah, you're right. 10-4.
Yeah. So not horrible, not great, but not horrible. And he didn't have any of those. At least unless it was slipping my mind, I don't think he had any of those backbreaking turnovers, like where it was just like a gross turnover, easy bucket for the other team.
Not to be that guy, he had one in the first quarter. He stepped over half court and just threw like a lazy pass across to Ivy. Got picked straight away.
Yeah,
but at least it's not in the fourth quarter.
That game,
yeah.
I mean, that game felt like it was 4 hours long. So
yeah,
that was a slog. But yeah. All right, I take it back. I thought he had a game where the bad turnovers are clean, but
yeah. Look, I mean, I'm not gonna say rest him against the Wizards because I still think even though you won tonight, you still have to beat the Wizards. Like I just can't imagine losing to the Wizards. That would be horrible. So I hope
the Hawks were up by 35 at one point tonight. You cannot lose to the Wizards.
Yeah, I know I said 2-2. I think when we spoke earlier in the week or before this week, but you're 2-1 now. You honestly should be 3-0. Like just 3-1, and we're good. Not to get too far ahead, but I just think hopefully he plays and they can just win that game.
Yeah, and I guess it would depend too, because I could see it if like Cade's like, listen, I need a blow, I really do. Like I'm not right. If Tech and Tobias could play, or at least one of the two, then you would feel a little bit more comfortable. I mean, you're losing a lot of scoring pop, but at the same time, Cade actively hurt them tonight. So I mean, Ivy wasn't much better.
Well, Zale brings up a good point here. So Ivy's 3-point percentage is back to 34%, which I think is exactly what it was last season. He probably had a good first 6 games, I want to say, from 3, shooting like 40%. And then like the last 6 or so, it's really gone back down.
But he hasn't taken many.
Yeah. I'm not overly concerned. It's just, I think it's a fair point. Like I've seen people talking about like, that was the whole thing with Ivy. It's like, can he sustain this? So thoughts on his game, and then I guess the shooting.
I'm not concerned with his 3-point shooting. I'm really not. I think he's been fine, even if the percentages drop back, and he's obviously made some really key ones. Yeah, I didn't love Ivy's game.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. Defensively, he wasn't great. In fact, I don't know what I don't know what in the world he was doing on that last possession where Grady got the 3-pointer up so clean.
Yeah.
I have no idea if he thought there was going to be help coming left, so he'd let Grady initiate left and then just make sure he didn't get to his right where he's probably more comfortable. But like he jumped really far left,
Yeah.
and Grady just needed to take one dribble with his left hand. I mean, Grady Dick can put the ball to hump for one dribble with his left hand.
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all. And then the free throw shooting. I mean,
no.
tonight 5 of 8. You can't have it anymore, man.
No.
How are you shooting 70% this year from the free throw line? The stroke's clean, the operation's clean. I don't get it. I don't get why you can't make them.
Yeah.
This whole team has a free throw problem, massive free throw problem.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think the amount of last game. There's been so many games. I feel like I don't want to say it's all decided by free throws, but geez, they've missed that many key ones that just stick out in your mind. Like Tobias has, Jaden has.
Tobias missed those two.
Yeah,
One on
Ron
purpose,
obviously.
but
Yeah,
Jalen
Ron
missed one
obviously.
today. I'm glad he made the other.
Oh yeah,
Cade missed one today.
yeah.
Like, I mean, it's just like make your free throws, dude. When you're constantly in 2 to 5 point games and you miss 5 to 7 free throws a night,
yeah,
like that's the difference, man. Like and that's the thing. Like I'm not really that mad about Jalen Duren missing a free throw. Like, but like guys like Cade, Jaden, Tobias, Malik, these guys can't miss free throws. Like they can't.
Yeah, no, it's like I think the Pistons were up by 2. They get it to Beasley, foul, but they're not in the bonus. And then when Jaden got the ball there, I was like, oh no, he's missing one. I just didn't even know. I just knew he was going to miss one.
Yep.
And at least he got into a 3-point game, and then obviously they closed it out in the end. But I think they shot like 12 of 19 from the free throw line tonight. It's just like you said, in games that are constantly within 1 or 2 buckets, like you just can't have it.
Yeah, no, you can't have it.
Yeah.
Do we want to go to the extreme negative or?
Yeah, let's do it.
Tobias Harris can be launched into the sun. He's awful. He's awful.
Yeah.
I promise I'd be positive, and I think for the most part tonight I have been positive.
Yeah.
Tobias Harris is awful right now.
Yeah.
Dude, airballing 14-footers? What is going on, man?
And he had like 3 of those in key moments. I'm like, why are we ending the possession with him? And he's that was doing my head in, man, in key moments.
Lost. He's just so lost. And he was hacking all night.
Yeah.
Like what is needed for you to? And the thing is, I had faith he was turning around a little bit because he had a few good games in a row.
Yeah.
And then the last 3 games it's been stink, stank, stunk. Just awful. Not helping the team at all. Where you look at how much Malik and Tim help this team, Tobias is on the complete other end of the spectrum. He does not help this team at all. I don't blame any Pistons fan who's frustrated with Tobias, especially because he's making the most money on the team. Thank God that deal's short. Thank God that deal's short. All I'm going to say. Because it's getting to the point now where it's not going to be movable.
Well, and like, I agree. Like tonight was last 3 games for sure, but tonight I was losing my mind watching those turnarounds. And the thing as well, like we've spoken about it a few times, but the second he dribbles the ball, I'm just like praying it's not going to be dribbled off his foot, stolen. Like I did not realize how bad his handle is. I didn't expect it to be good, but I am so nervous when he has the ball in these tight games. And defensively, like it's a mess. Like he can't move side to side.
I don't know what's going on with him. I really don't.
Yeah.
I'm hoping, because let's be real, this has happened in the NBA a million times. A guy goes through a 15-game stretch where he's bad. Like it's happened to, like, I mean, Ivy's had multiple 10-game stretches where he's been awful. Like this happens to NBA players who aren't top 20 players. Like it just happens, you know. it's the nature of the league. But like, we signed him to help the team. He needs to help the team.
Yeah.
And I know at least the thing I know about Tobias is he wants to be here. He wants to help this team be better. And I think he's probably very harsh on himself. I mean, you don't have a 14-year career in the NBA without some ability to look within and realize, your faults and stuff and work on what you're not good at. I mean, you just don't. It just doesn't work that way. The NBA chews up and spits out so many players a year. I mean, I'm not completely out on Tobias, but it's getting to the point where it's like I was pumped when JB sat him for like literally 13 minutes in a row.
Yeah.
And let Wendell go out there.
Yeah.
Because Wendell, at least, he wasn't providing anything on offense, but he wasn't actively hurting the team. Kept the ball moving, played great defense.
And that, that's a positive that JB's willing to do that. Because if he wasn't, then we'd have like if Tobias has been force fed and we're got to watch him for 30 minutes,
yeah, I mean that's the thing I appreciate about JB so far this year. He's not afraid to sit anyone down. In that third quarter,
he sat Ivy as well for a lot in that fourth for Sasa. It made sense.
I mean, even Cade in that third quarter, he was like, "No, get out.
Yeah,
like you're killing the team right now." JB, it's such a breath of fresh air to see a coach who's actively trying to win.
Yeah,
like actively trying to push whatever button. Because listen, nothing was working tonight.
Yeah,
they shot 20% from three, 12 of 9 free throws, 12 of 19 from the free throw line. Still had double-digit turnovers.
Yeah.
Against the Raptors team that is giving up a bazillion points this season. They're not good defensively.
Yeah.
Like, the Pistons really shot themselves out of the game. Like, nothing was working, but at least JB was willing to say, hey, this isn't working. I'm going to try something else.
Yeah.
Like, I appreciate that because Monty Williams in that game would have had his hands in his pockets in the second quarter, literally looking around like he didn't know where he was.
Yeah, I know.
Like he was a mental patient. Like, what is this arena? What am I doing here? Like, at least JB is active, engaged, fiery.
Yeah, no, he's great. And
yeah.
He shouted out, I appreciate this. Like, I wasn't surprised by this, but immediately in the press conference, first thing, like, just shouted out Wendell Moore and Sasa. And he said, we don't win without them. And I just
they are the two biggest reasons why they won. So, yeah, I agree.
I agree. I just think it's like, not saying, like, I feel like a lot of coaches would do that in that situation, but I love the fact that just straight off the bat, no questions, he just said that immediately, because it's true. And yeah, I'm loving him as a coach. Like he's definitely been like one of the biggest positives so far this season, easily. I mean, and low bar, but yeah, you go.
No, I was just gonna say it's not like he's doing everything right.
Yeah,
I still think he waits too long on runs to call timeouts. Yeah. I still think their offense isn't perfect. Like their sets and stuff aren't the best. But like, how can you not be pumped about him as a coach? Like
yeah.
I think he's literally he's young, he's enthusiastic. He got, obviously it's working out for the Cavaliers. Yeah. But I don't think he necessarily deserved to be fired from that gig. It's not like he was a bad coach for Cleveland.
No, not at all.
But obviously Cleveland thought they needed to move on, and it worked out. They're 14-0. I think they are anyway. If they beat the Bulls, I know they were up by 7 late.
Yeah. The Bulls. Yeah. Oh yeah, they beat the Bulls by 18.
Yeah. By 18.
Yeah.
Dude, there was like 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter. They're by 7. Wow, they put it on.
144 to 128.
When are they going to lose?
Oh, I don't know, man. Was that 15-0?
14.
Okay. It's crazy.
It's got to be coming up on the longest winning streak to start a season.
I think the Warriors had it in 16. It was like 23 wins or something.
Okay, yeah, they're not doing that.
But I think it might be second now, all time.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, so it's like he's, to me, JB is the right coach at the right time. and you
Yeah.
can clearly tell he's minus Durant. He's getting everything he can out of these players at least.
Well, so the Pistons now, I was just looking this up while you're talking. Pistons now have the 11th best defense in the NBA. Like, and then so their net rating is like minus 1.5. So that like they are in every game apart from obviously that Knicks
Yeah,
game.
if you
Like,
throw away the Knicks
how are
game, they
you
have a positive
in
net rating.
top 15 in defense? Like,
Yeah,
seriously. No Asar Thompson.
yeah.
I
I
know
mean,
some of it might
obviously,
be a pace thing where they're playing slower and the scores are lower, but still, like, that is a tick so
yeah.
far.
I mean, if you throw out the Knicks game, they have a positive net rating.
Yeah, you're
So
right.
it's like, I don't care what I thought about this team going into the season. And again, I wasn't super high on them, but there was no way I thought they'd even have close to it in even net rating after 14 games when I looked at the schedule.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, they're gonna lose 3 or 4 of these games by 15 to 20.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter if they beat the Wizards and the Hawks and the Hornets. Like, they're gonna get blown out a few times. Much to my surprise, only once.
I'm surprised as well. Like, like I know, like I just think they still have we only played one West team, the Lakers. Everyone else has been Eastern, so like the East is a bit of a mess. But like regardless of who they've played, based off what we saw last year in this roster, I'm with you. I can't believe there's only been that one game where it's like, yep, that was bad. Like, and I'm honestly starting to give most of the credit to JB now. Like he's just like you said, just has them so well drilled, and there's just a discipline, and he's willing to like sit his best players for guys like Wendell Moore, or his highest paid players, I should say, for guys like Wendell Moore have it going, which I think is you obviously when we're watching the game, like you want them to make that, but to actually make that move as a coach and do that consistently, I think it's like easier said than done. So yeah, I've been loving everything about him, honestly. And yeah, I 100% agree. Like his use of timeouts have come back to bite the Pistons, and like letting runs go on too long. But no, he's been huge.
Agreed.
Trying to think where else we can go. I'm going to get to some comments in a sec. But is there any players we haven't spoken about?
I mean, we didn't talk about Malik, who I
Yeah,
thought made a bunch of key shots,
yeah,
per usual. I mean, like I said, can we sign him now?
yeah,
He's too important. He's literally the only guy I trust right now when the game is going south to hit a shot, to just turn the momentum off. Not flip it, but turn it off for the other team.
yeah.
Like in that third
Well
quarter,
said. Well said. I
he hit
agree.
a couple big threes to just like, okay, we're still in this. Like we're still in this. Despite how bad we played, we're still in this. Malik made a couple big threes. We can win this game in the fourth quarter. We can win this game. That's so big.
It's huge. I agree. He is literally him, and when THJ plays, but like definitely Malik's by himself. Like when the other team's going on that run and the Pistons just need a bucket to settle it down, like he is the only guy I feel confident. Like Cade, I actually don't right now. Like
Not at the
I don't.
moment, no.
No,
No.
not at the moment. I think he can get there, but yeah, he's the guy who just hits all those key threes. I think I don't know how many 20-point games he's had, but he had another one tonight. Like this guy's on 6 million a year. Like
Yeah. And I
that's
mean, talk about a great move by Malik, though, to just be like, I think I could actually fit in here really well. And I actually think I could, like, really prove how valuable I am. Like,
yeah,
good on him because he's worth way more than 6 million to this team right now. If he continues to play the whole year, it'll be hard to quantify how much more he should have got. Because he's just been really huge for this team.
no, he's consistently like he's just been like he had a few like down games, but like that's just gonna come when you're just a gunner like he is. Like I think he's been incredible. That signing looks
Well,
better.
yeah, you've seen his vibe checks. We know where he was in Miami the night before that game. That guy was only in one, well, maybe multiple, but he was in one type of establishment that night. and he was there late.
um, I saw a comment in here. Someone said that there's been reports of Duran being frustrated. I'm just trying to find it. Have you heard anything about that? Yeah, from
No.
Rab. There's reports that Duran is frustrated with his role in the offense. I mean,
Can Rob or was that Rab? Sorry,
Rab.
Rab. Do you have a link for that?
Yeah, I haven't heard that. Might not
No.
surprise me. Like like not that like he's only taking like 4 or 5 shots a game. I think what 6 tonight. Um, I mean, I think that's what he should be getting, but I think he had a lot more freedom last year under Monty to do what he wanted. Uh, I don't know. I think we need to talk more about Durant, to be honest. I thought like it's just becoming, and I actually honestly am not one that thinks I understand and can watch defense and break it down. But like you said earlier, there is such a noticeable shift when Stu comes in. Like it's crazy the difference on the defensive end. Um, like, do you think we actually like within your heart of hearts? Do you actually think there's a point we get to where Durant's benched for Stu?
I don't think
Well,
it matters, man. As long as they're
yeah,
playing even minutes, I think, like we said, um, I can't remember what game it was after, but Stu will do whatever you tell him
yeah,
because he's a. I think if you bench Duran, his confidence just goes in the toilet.
yeah,
Like, I think he's that. I don't think he's nearly as mature as Stu is, just based on how he plays on the court. Um, I mean, as long as they're playing similar amount of minutes, I don't know what the minute breakdown between them was tonight. It felt like Duran played more.
it was pretty much a perfect 24. Durant
Okay.
played 18 seconds more. So, like you said earlier, 24 minutes each, basically.
Yeah, so that's as long as it's that, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Because I don't think Stu. I don't think right now they're playing that bad. The starting group is playing that bad defensively to
yeah,
to the point where like it'd be different if teams would get coming out and just getting on them right away.
yeah,
And it was like a lot of like dribble penetration, Duran rotating late, um, not contesting shots, that kind of stuff. I think it would be different for me, but I think their net rating with Durant on the floor is like -3 and Stu's like +1. It's like a 4-point swing.
yeah,
I just don't want to ruin Durant's confidence this early in the season completely.
yeah. Yeah, no,
So
it's a good point because like we just went through some defensive numbers for the team there. Like it's like we can get like there are frustrating moments with Jalen, but like you said, ultimately they're not giving up. They're not starting games down 10 consistently or down 15. So don't upset the chemistry then for the whole team.
yeah, exactly. It's hard. And JB knows he's got to. I mean, how old's Jalen now? 20.
I think he was still 19 because I tried to say he was 20 and then someone was like, no, he's 19.
Yeah, so it's like
No,
God,
he must be 20. He must be 20. Sorry. He must be
yeah,
20. Let me
but he's
check.
like it's a 20-year-old kid, man.
Yeah.
I think about like, and obviously I would never be a professional athlete. There's no chance. But like, I think about how I was acting when I was 20.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tough. I mean,
Yeah.
he's a millionaire basketball player at 19 or 20. I mean, I just hope he's like maybe as the team and the games get more important, maybe that'll wake him up.
Yeah.
Because like truly, he's never played any meaningful basketball in his entire life. Memphis was not good when he was there, which they're never
Yeah.
good. Penny Hardaway's a joke, but that's besides the point.
Um, I think it's Moses brings up a point. Well, he just says, let's get the cup. So the Pistons now are 2-0 in their group. Um, I think the only other team in their group's the Bucks, is it? And
Bucks and the Pacers
is there 5
and the
teams?
Heat
Okay.
and the Heat.
So they beat the Heat, so
Yeah.
that's done. So 2-0. So if you win your group stage, you then go to Vegas, don't you?
Yes, correct. They play four. They play 4 group games, and I believe it. I might not. Is it top 2 in each advance?
Okay. I need to do more research. If anyone in the chat knows how it works, let us know. Because
Yeah, if it's not top two, maybe it's like it goes on differential. Because I think I'm pretty sure not only 4 teams go.
yeah, and they just play off. Like the two winners play each other for the cup of those two games. Obviously,
Is that how it goes?
I was just
Yeah, I
kind
don't
of
I don't I don't know if it's only top 4. It might be.
yeah. I mean, I want them to get to Vegas. I don't care if they got to play the extra game or two. Like, go to Vegas. That would be so fun.
Especially because those games don't count. I'm 99% sure those games don't count for the standings once they get to Vegas.
Yeah, I think you're right. I can't. Well, yeah, I don't think so.
Because it's you can't have 4 teams playing 84 games.
Yeah, no, that just makes no sense.
Yeah. So,
overall,
dude, 2 more free games, 2 more games of experience, 2 more games of experience, if that's what it is, against really good teams. Yeah, sign me up.
yeah, absolutely. Some pressure, bit of national media attention. Or like it'll
A
be
game
good.
on ESPN. A game on freaking ESPN.
I still find it so funny randomly that the Pistons' first preseason game was on ESPN, and that's all they'll probably get.
Yeah, that was
It's a bucks.
yeah, that was Adam Silver being tired of picking up Tom Gore's phone calls. And be like, sure, yeah, we'll get you on ESPN your first preseason game. There you go.
I don't even know. Maybe the game against the Rockets actually in Jan, I think, is on ESPN. So
Yeah,
I think that's the only one.
They get 1 or 2 a year. That's it's like the Lions back in the day. The only primetime game they would get is on Thanksgiving, just because it was tradition. Like they would never ever allow the Lions to be like Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football because they were so bad. Yeah, I mean it's the same thing.
No, for sure. I'm just checking through the comments here. I will go through them once Cody jumps off, but I'm just seeing if there's any more questions. Beastly Arrow says here, Jack, when you rewatch the game, look at our off-ball movement compared to the Raptors, a glaring difference, assuming this is in a negative way. And I think that goes back to maybe your point just about how the offense and the sets can get bogged down a bit. What are your thoughts on do you think Cade holds onto the ball too long sometimes? Like when he just comes down and just dribbles around, I know that's the sort of player he is. Like he wants to manipulate the defense, try and get someone to shift so he can hit the corner or whatever. But sometimes I just feel like get rid of the ball first if you're not going to use a screen. And then get it back 3 or 4 seconds later and get into your action instead of just no pass possessions. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean I think Cade's kind of like a quarterback who takes the play clock down in football, and he's trying to read what covers they're in. He's trying to get as much information as he can, which is not. Luka does the same thing.
Yeah.
Luka's a very give me the ball 8 feet from the 3-point line. Let me catch it quick, look around, dissect, and then get it in the set. It's not a bad thing. A lot of high usage, in fact, most high usage players do it because they're trying to figure out where's the weakness in the defense, which makes sense. But to his point, to Beasley Arrow's point, the Raptors fly around screens, man.
Yeah.
Like Grady Dick, I'm like, dude, that's white Rip Hamilton right there. That is white Reggie Miller. The way he comes off so tight on the screens, hard, cutting hard on him. Abaji's good at that too. Abaji gets in and out of breaks on the screens really fast. I mean, the Raptors have some guys that play really hard. They're obviously horrendous basketball team, and they're missing at least 3 key rotation players. You take a bad basketball team, you take 3 rotation pieces, and yeah, you're gonna be really really bad. But they have some guys who really do move off the ball and keep stuff moving. They don't really have any ball stoppers, really. Like even RJ Barrett's not a huge ball stopper, which I thought he would be.
Yeah. Yeah, no, look, I agree. I'll go back and I don't know if I'm gonna watch this game back, to be honest.
No, I'm forgetting about this one. I don't take the time to rewatch games very often. I know it's different for you because you cut clips and stuff like that, and you there's like other but like, dude, I'm a very big like once it's already once I've seen it, I don't need to see it again. Like I already know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I have a very kind of photographic memory, so like I remember a lot of the games I watched.
Yeah.
So it's like the only game I've ever watched more than twice in my entire life is the Packers Super Bowl win in 2010. Watched that game
Yeah.
probably 20 times, full stop. But yeah,
See,
I don't go back and watch.
I wish I had a photographic memory. My memory's horrific. But like I don't normally watch full games back. I'll just watch like the second half, like while I'm having dinner or something. And then the clips and stuff, I just pull that from somewhere else. But
Yeah.
if they win, I normally do try to watch back at least a half or the best parts of the game. Because they've been so few and far between. I like to watch the players actually have some smile on their face. But tonight's game I don't think I can watch that one back, but it's a good point from Beasley Arrow. Mike Morris has a question for us here from Twitter. It seems the Pistons were more sound on defensive rebounding and rebounding as a team. Am I right? Is it because the Raptors suck? I think the Pistons have been, like, I know they've been giving up those offensive rebounders, offensive boards that are killers, but I think rebounding's been a strength, has it? Or
Yeah, it
not?
has. Their rebounding
Yeah,
margin is good, but
but
every key one.
yeah,
And tonight, I did not think they were good on the glass.
yeah.
I mean, Jakob Poeltl put up the fourth 2020 game in Raptors history.
So you got 2020 in the end. Wow.
He had 24 and 20, like 24 and like 22.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
He cooked them.
Yeah, he was a monster.
Like and like he's a good player, 100% good player. Don't get me wrong, but you can't let Jakob Poeltl get 22 boards.
Yeah.
But the Raptors do suck, Mike. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think that's how do you like I mean we were saying it when we were chatting during the game, but like a win is a win with this team, but I guess this game the feeling from this game, how do you think how are you feeling after this game going into the Wizards game? That's
Second worst game of the season overall, behind the Knicks game.
yeah.
I don't care that they won, honestly. I mean, I
Yeah.
do care, but at the same time, like, dude, the Raptors are by far the worst team you've played. Not even competitive a lot of nights. Like, they're like us last year.
Yeah, they're
So
pretty
it's
bad.
like, think about what some of the teams on the margins did to us last year. Like, I'm not talking about the Celtics of the world and some of the teams on the margins beat the brakes off us. That's what I was hoping we'd do tonight. I was hoping this would be a convincing 10-point plus victory where it never felt that close. It was but it was wire to wire, like very tight. And in fact, in the third quarter, I almost messaged you and I was like, they're going to lose this game. It feels so bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I've said on another stream, I think it was after never apologize for a win,
Yeah.
especially because we have had so few of them. But yeah, I don't feel like all fuzzy and tingly after that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the frustrating thing is, man, they got ahead by 8, I think twice in the last 5 minutes. And just like you said, there's the Davion Mitchell stripping Sasa. There's just the horrible Tobias Harris turnaround jumpers that miss by a lucky to hit rim. Like it's just that every time it can't. Well, it's interesting because their first 2 wins, I think, were by double digits. But the past 2 weeks, it's just like every game, no matter what, it's just got to be within one or 2 points.
Yeah, I
Like
mean but like I think taking a giant like step back and a 3,000-foot view of it, it's good for the team because they're playing more clutch games in clutch situations this year than they did all of last year.
Yeah.
Already, we're only 1/6 of the way in the season, like roughly 1/6. Like they've already played more clutch games this year than they have maybe in the last 2 years combined.
Yeah.
So like it's good for the team. It's really good for the young players because they have to. That's like I can't remember what the quote was about this era of the NBA, but they said on most nights with most games, you can forget about the first 40 minutes of the game. The last 8 minutes are what matter. Like you can almost throw out whatever happens in the first 40 minutes and just think about the last 8 because that's generally in the NBA regular season when pressure's not ratcheted up and it's more free and free flowing, that's generally the only times when games get really intense in the NBA is those last 8 minutes. So the rest of the game just comes down to who's making more shots for the most part. There's obviously a few teams who like the Magic who suffocate the Magic and the Thunder at full strength who just suffocate you for 48 minutes straight. But I think having a lot of these games going down to the clutch is going to be just huge, regardless if they make the play or not this year. Which I'm starting to root that they don't. The more I watch this team, dude, they need another blue chip guy. They have to have it.
Yeah, it
like
is.
They need think about if this team won 32 games and landed Cooper Flagg or Ace Bailey. I'm in nirvana. I'm in pure nirvana. That's when I see the light. That's when I see the light at the end of the tunnel. I see the door open.
Yeah.
If you get one of those two guys, like
Can
that's
you give me,
it just changes the out because again we're not going to get free agents. We're not. So
no, I agree. Look, I'm with you, and I've felt like that for a long time, to be honest. Like they don't have, even if Ivy continues to look really good, like I just don't think he's a 1 or 2 option. Like, and I think as well on top of that is like it's not about actually his points per game or that thing so much. It's more just like the Pistons just desperately need like someone in the front court who can create offense, like whether that's a 3, like, and just be another blue chip type of prospect. So that's like, I'm with you. The thing is, would 32 wins like get you close to the play-in though?
With the way the East is going, that's the problem. But I mean, you're 32-50.
Yeah.
You have to believe the 10 seed is better than 32-50.
You would hope so. Yeah.
I mean, you'd have to.
Could you just Ace Bailey? Could you and I guess Cooper Flagg as well? Just give us, if you feel comfortable, a couple of minutes on their games. I know, like Cooper Flagg's played a couple of games now, hasn't he? So I haven't paid any attention. I'm not sure if people watching have. So
yeah, I mean Cooper Flagg. So to start on Cooper Flagg, I mean he's 6. I want to say close to 6'10", maybe 6'8". He's big. He's big, and his body's already filling out pretty well. He's great off the dribble, great at attacking the rim, good shooter. Had a few too many turnovers in these first 2 games, but I mean he's got 80 NBA scouts coming to pretty much every one of his games. Elite backside rim protection. Elite, like outstanding. He's always blocking shots, always getting in passing lanes. I mean, whether you play him at the 3 or the 4 in the NBA, because I think there's positional versatility there, he's going to just be such a tough cover on offense because he can get to his spot so easily, especially when he gets stronger. And defensively, he's gonna be a nightmare because he's got a motor. That kid has a motor that's insane. Like even like LeBron and stuff when he was on the USA Select team.
Yeah.
Like LeBron and Steph and stuff were commenting on it. Like, dude, this kid's he's insatiable for basketball. He never quits. It just like even the other night when they were down by 2 or 3 possessions against Kentucky, he was still forcing the issue. He wanted to win that game so bad. Like I'm excited to watch him more. I'm going to watch a lot of Duke games this year, even though I hate Duke, just because I think he's so fun to watch.
Yeah.
Ace Bailey is more like
So Beasley Arrow has some points on Ace Bailey here. Tall, athletic, can hit crazy difficult, pull up fadeaways, doesn't do anything else.
Yeah. So Ace Bailey is definitely more of a just a scorer right now. He's fine defensively from what I've seen, but the competition level that Rutgers has played is really low. So it's like when you're 6'10", 6'11", you're long as hell. Like, can these guys from like Monmouth and these tiny Division I schools really do anything to make you try hard? It's gonna be way different in the NBA, obviously. But he's, to Biciero's point, he's super tall, super athletic. Like, if I was to give a player comp to him, it's like I think he's going to be eventually, if he fills out, because he's way skinny. I think he's going to be what the Rockets wish Jabari Smith was.
Okay, got you. Yeah.
Like, because I think his offensive game is much more polished than Jabari's already, and I think he does have the potential to be a plus defender. So I think he could be a rich man's Jabari Smith because
Yeah.
his handle's better, his shot's better. Like he doesn't have the playmaking chops right now, but either did Jabari coming out really. That's the one thing I'd like to see him do more. He's more of like if I get the ball, I'm shooting.
Yeah.
Which I mean, can you blame him? He went to Rutgers. He didn't go to Duke, Kentucky. He went to a small school, a smallish school from a basketball perspective in the United States. So, but either of those guys, I think, really help the team. And then obviously, there's going to be guys that rise. There's going to be guys that rise really far. I know there's a kid from Texas that everybody's gushing about. I haven't been able to watch him yet, but he's like a combo guard, so it doesn't really fit the Pistons' needs. But I know he's just got insane scoring pop. He's
Yeah.
really good, but I haven't got to watch him at all yet. But I
No,
mean,
based on what you've said, like Bailey, and I knew a bit about Flag, but they literally fit exactly that. Like Asar is a wing, obviously, and Ron, but like those two there sound like front court guys that you can, like blue chip guys.
I'm
You can,
not kidding. I'm not kidding. If the Pistons somehow get Cooper Flag, they are comfortably in the playoffs next year.
yeah,
Comfortably, he's that good. He's gonna be a rookie. That's and especially because the Pistons are not like the Spurs situation.
yeah,
Because
that's
like
what. Yeah,
Wemby's obviously generational, but that roster was so bad. This roster's not that bad. If he comes in, especially when he doesn't have all the pressure like Wemby did, he can
yeah,
just
do what he's good at.
come in and be a third option and play really good defense. I think.
Well, I think we've seen that on a way lower scale, but just with Ron, I know he's had some moments, the shot selection, but just him being able to come in, play 8 to 12, 12 minutes, whatever, run around, do what he does well in terms of creating chaos. And then like it's just been that even has just been a breath of fresh air as opposed to watching like rookies play like 35 minutes that don't deserve it and getting cooked. Like, do you know what I mean? I feel like different conversation with Cooper Flag, obviously, but 100% agree with you. Like this team's at a way more stable point where he could come in, and I'm with you. Like they could be. I can see why you think they come out of playoffs.
No, I
With
mean it's just like I'm so high on Cooper Flag. Like
yeah,
outside of Wemby, like
really,
I really think he can be. Like I look at a guy like Anthony Edwards, and I'm like, I think Cooper Flag can be every bit as good as Anthony Edwards. I really do. He's that good. Like there's a
wow.
reason why teams are already giving up. The Wizards have already given up. They are on flag watch right now.
Yeah,
There are many teams. The Jazz, I know they won last night against the Mavs. They've given up. They want Cooper Flag, and there's never been a more perfect fit than Cooper Flag to the Utah Jazz.
yeah.
Like that's Adam Silver's got to be licking his chops and being like, "Yeah, I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna figure it out somehow. I don't know how, but I'm gonna make it happen."
Oh man. Well, so the Pistons, that pick they owe, I think it's lottery protected, isn't it?
Top 13.
Okay. That's a weird protection, but okay. I think they're keeping that. I think.
I would hope they keep
Yeah.
it. I'm just hoping that it's not, 13th.
Yeah. All right, a couple more here, and then I'll let you go, Cody. Derek Brown. It makes you think if Ivy is the future or just a good trade asset because I don't think Trajan wants all of Weaver's picks. He wants his own team. Kind of ties into what we've just been talking about. It is a statement, but I think it's just timely with like the Cooper Flag thing because I just think Trajan, yeah, you've just outlined two prospects there that would fit this team amazingly. Like, and I think Trajan, I can't wait to see the trade deadline and just what this team does.
Yeah, I mean, it's
I
so
can't
tough.
see them trading Ivy or Durant. Oh, I don't know. Could you see them moving one of Weaver's first rounders, the deadline?
Really depends where they're at.
Yeah.
I mean, I think if Trajan thinks, hey, like, there's a really good package on the table, because what I like, the thing is, it's such a tough spot because like let's just say Brandon Ingram, for example. who's having an amazing start to the year, playing really good basketball. Let's just say the Hornets are dead and out of it because they are not. They're so hurt. They're so beat up. And what if the Hornets say, "Hey, or not Hornets, Pelicans say we don't want to resign him. We're not going to do it. Let's go to the Pistons, and the Pistons trade us Duran and let's say Ron Holland. You got to think about that at least. You have to. If like that was on the table, I don't know if that's enough for the Pelicans. It might be because I think they don't want to re-sign him. So getting that package is like if you unlock Durant in 4 years, he could be amazing, and then Ron Holland could be really good. I mean, I don't think that's something that necessarily Trajan would do. I'm just trying to think of a good example where the value's on both sides. But I think you at least have to think about it because like, I mean, Brandon Ingram's like how you the chance of you finding someone in the draft as good as Brandon Ingram is right now is hard, and Brandon Ingram's still young-ish.
Yeah, 2017 like, draft, I think. 2016.
You have to think. You have to at least think about it. It's tough because I just don't know. I'm going to be honest. I can't see Trajan pushing all the chips in this year. Yeah. I can't see him making that home run swing. But I think he does it. I think, honestly, the move gets made in the offseason.
Yeah. Well, because if a team wanted Ivy, it's more than likely going to be a team that is, like, I'm just using Ivy now as the example, but, like, it's more than likely a team that's looking for a starting guard of the future, so they're probably down the bottom, but why would they want to trade during the season before the draft for that when you can wait and see? Like, you could wait until the NBA draft. Like, do you know what I'm saying? And then if you miss and don't get what you want, then you go get, like, a young player like Ivy. I don't know. It's just I think it's an off-season thing.
Yeah, well, I think a team that trades for Ivy is probably looking for potentially a scoring punch.
Yeah.
Like, I look at a team like the Lakers, and I could be like, that's a team that could potentially do it. And then it's like, if Trajan's like, okay, I want to bottom out, does he look at like a Ivy for D'Lo and a couple first round? I don't know. I don't know if they can move.
Yeah.
I don't know if they can move multiple first round, but like, does he want to refill the cupboard and start to get more picks and like try to bottom out and then get Flag? And then it's like, okay, you have D'Lo, it doesn't really matter because you got Flag, you got Ace Bailey. Like, obviously, I would not be okay with trading Jaden Ivey for D'Angelo Russell. I need a very good reason for that, like a publicly very good reason, because that's a bad trade on the surface. But like, that it's more of a chess, not checkers move. But like, the Lakers are a team that I could see like needing them. They just don't have the assets. Like needing an Ivy, they need another scoring punch.
Yeah.
So like, you're a team's not trading for Ivy for defense or anything like that. Like, they're trading for Ivy knowing that for any given night he could go for 20.
Yeah.
I think that's more the team looking for Ivy, like a fringe contender who's like, hey, if we just have more scoring pop, maybe we could move a little bit, or like you said, I think less likely a team that's bottoming out and just like, hey, we're gonna trade for a guard of the future, because it's just like, dude, if you're bottoming out, to your point, just wait for the draft.
Yeah.
And then make your move.
And I think, those types of moves are off-season ones. I think the only stuff at the deadline, like, I mean, the Ingram one, I just can't see him going all in. Not in his first season when he's still trying to figure out these young guys. Like,
I mean, it would have to be a ridiculously good deal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like they're like New Orleans is just willing to punt and they just want to get off the salary. Like, it's like but the thing is, you need to make the money work. So it's like if they were to just say, hey, like, we'll trade Ingram for Duren and Tobias Harris, you definitely have to think about that. Knowing you're paying Ingram, you have to think about that at least.
What is the chat? I want to see what the chat thinks. So Duren and Tobias for Brandon Ingram. So basically, get off Tobias's money a season early, and then you're going to be signing.
Replace it with Ingram and some, and you give up Duren.
But you still would have a pick in this year's draft. Hopefully. You probably don't, actually, once you get Ingram.
Yeah, if you get Ingram, you're probably that's the thing. You're probably playing yourself into the plane at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like
It's so tricky though, because I
Well, the
think
nice thing,
ultimately
the
where
only
we
good thing about
started,
the play-in is,
yeah,
you can lose in the play-in and get the number one pick like the Hawks did.
exactly right.
So
Yeah,
like,
exactly right. Um, I think where you started those, I think like Trojan, this team needs another blue chip player. How they get it, like I think it's probably coming via the draft, unless there's some crazy trade that appears. But yeah,
yeah, like I think Brandon Ingram's the only guy that I would be willing to entertain it for. That's
yeah,
realistic
yeah,
because like Zach LaVine is going to be very realistic again, but you
yeah.
cannot do that.
No, no.
You cannot do Zach LaVine.
Well, this is why, I mean, maybe we'll end here. This is why I'm so excited to see SR Thompson. I'm not expecting some scoring leap this season. Like, I think with how much time he's missed and that kind of thing, like, I'm just happy to see him on the floor. Hopefully, the jumper looks a bit better. And hopefully, he's still the same player we saw as a rookie and just a little bit better. But I don't necessarily have a whole heap of hope in the sense that he fills that kind of second guy slot just because of the shortcomings I think his jumper has. But I just can't wait to see him on the floor.
Yeah, I can't imagine Azar is like ever like a
Yeah,
true number two overall because he just doesn't do one of a scoring pop. But I think Azar's gonna mean a lot to this team. But that to me though is kind of why
you think it's
Ingram is so intriguing
yeah,
because like you do have Azar, and then you have if you don't have to give up Ivy, you have Kate Ivy, Ingram, Asar, and Stu for now, and then you
yeah,
go find a center you can feel comfortable starting, and if you
yeah,
don't lose too many bench pieces, like you can. That team is very competitive. Now it's not going to win a title, obviously, but I
yeah,
don't think there's any path for the Pistons winning a title unless they get Cooper Flag. So, like,
yeah.
I
Well,
mean, it's like the path for the Pistons to win a title, but Ingram's the only guy I even entertain it for. There's not another guy unless unless the Suns magically made Devin Booker available, and
yeah,
then you
he that's
push in
legit.
everything maybe. But
That's probably the only other guy I can think of. Like there is other players, but he's like probably the only realistic, like genuine star in the NBA that you could see coming to Detroit. And it's not even like how much does he actually want to play at home? Like when you're leaving Phoenix, so it's pretty good. I haven't been to Arizona or Phoenix, but I know the weather's pretty good. I'm assuming
it's
it's a pretty
outstanding.
decent place to live. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, because if you look at the teams at the bottom of the standings and who you project to be at the bottom of the standings, there's just no one that's getting moved up those teams.
yeah,
That's worth it to the Pistons. Although
yeah.
Walker Kessler is interesting.
He's interesting, but what? Oh, and the trades, they do my head in, man. They're exciting, but like, how would they get Walker Kessler?
I don't
Was it
know.
Kessler Walker? Yeah, yeah,
Well, I mean, obviously, if this could somehow come to fruition, it won't. But if somehow they could land Laurie Markkinen, I'd be very, very intrigued as well.
yeah.
But that's not happening. That's the thing. We can talk. We can talk to our blue in the face about all these guys we'd love to have. Brandon Ingram is about the only thing that I could realistically see coming available because I don't think there's gonna be a lot of teams that are like, yeah, we're gonna trade for Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. The only other player I've seen recently is Jimmy Butler, but obviously that's just not even a conversation.
No, he's so old.
It's like 35.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. 35-year-old Jimmy Butler. That's a great way to top off this core.
All right. I'm gonna wrap it up here with yourself, Cody. But just final thoughts on tonight and yeah, how you feeling? 6-8, 7th in the East.
3-1 this week. I called it before the week started.
You did.
I'm gonna nail that prediction. Hopefully, I will be very upset if I don't because it'd be different if we started 0-2 and then I'm like, okay, well 2-2 is pretty good, but 3-1 needs to happen. And then, dude, if you look at the next 4 games, the next 3 games after this are all winnable. I think they play the Wizards, the Bulls, and the Hornets.
Wow.
Those are 3 winnable games in a row. You win those 3 games in a row, all of a sudden,
Will they be over 500?
your Detroit Pistons are 9-8, baby.
That, mate, we might have to have a party if that happens. Over
Dude,
500 would be insane. I don't know what I'd do, man.
if at any point this season the Pistons are over 500, I'm going to crack so many beers.
I'll crack a beer with you as well.
Like that's because it's like that Paul Reed, Sean Evans moment on Hot Ones where he's like, who'd have thought? Not me. Look at us. Who'd have thought? Not me. It's that exact thing. I
don't
never
care
thought
who-
they'd even come close to being over 500 this season.
No, I don't care who they're playing, who the Pistons have on their roster. If they're over 500 this season, this early, we're still in November. That's crazy. Because I saw a stat: the Pistons didn't win their 6th game until January 28th,
They were 6-40, weren't they?
something like that.
6-40. If I read it correctly.
Yeah.
6-40. So we'd have to lose 32 in a row to match that. All right, I feel pretty good about it. I feel pretty good we're not going to do that. You know what? I have a fun question for you just before we wrap it up.
Of course.
The Pistons have already had a 4-game losing streak. What's the longest losing streak you think they'll go on this year?
Oh, great question. Based on what we've seen, I honestly 4 or 5, man. Like
That's what I think.
honestly, and I would be kind of surprised. Definitely, yeah.
I think at some point this season they will have another 4 to 5 game losing streak.
Yeah. Can I flip that winning streak? Or are we getting too ahead of ourselves here?
Their longest right now is 2, right?
Who? Yeah.
They will have a 3-game winning streak at some point this year. They will.
I
They
was
will
hoping
have a 3-game.
it'd be higher,
I don't think it's too much longer because.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't see them rattling off like 6 straight.
No.
They make too many mistakes. They too many turnovers. But like, dude, I could definitely see them winning 3 in a row.
Yeah.
In fact, they're gonna win 3 in a row the next 2 games.
Yeah.
They're beating the Wizards. They're beating the Bulls. And you know what? They're beating the Hornets. 4-game winning streak. 4-game winning streak incoming for your Detroit Pistons to get over 500.
Book it. Let's go. Man, you got me excited. I think we've gone through this game now. Put it behind us. Don't talk about it again. And we're going 3-4 games in a row. Let's do it.
That's right. They're gonna pound the Wizards to get the confidence real high. Beginning of next week, Tech and THJ come back. They're full strength again. The Bulls come in. Zach LaVine drops 42, but they lose by 10 because the Pistons are a better team overall. And then they get their revenge on LaMelo Ball and the Hornets to complete their longest winning streak in probably 4 or 5 years.
Oh, I couldn't tell you the last time I'm 4 games. It's probably when they started 4-0 against Blake's that crazy season Blake had.
That's right.
So we're doing it.
We're doing it live. That's it.
I love it, man. Thank you so much for joining me, my guy. As always, everyone in the comments loves you, mate. Even if some of them are coming back at you.
Hey,
we're all just getting to know each other.
They can come back at me all they want. I the only thing I'm sad about is when I come on the stream is that I can't read the live comments.
Oh, can't you?
No, I can't.
Is it only if I bring them up?
Yeah, only if you bring them up.
Oh, my bad. I thought when I gave you the invite.
Oh no, I can. I can read them. Shoot.
But sometimes I struggle to bring them up while we're talking.
All right, Jeremy. Jeremy, I'll have you know I'm on a November cleanse, so I'm not 8 deep.
Yeah,
right, buddy? I'm on November, buddy.
Yeah, Jeremy, Cody has had a few.
No, I have not. I am stone cold sober for all November.
I love it. Oh man, I need to go. I need to go sober for a bit. I've had too many. The past week, I've had too many. I normally don't drink too much anymore. I used to a lot, but after that Atlanta game, this is really, I'm explaining this horribly. I had one of the biggest nights I've had in like 2 years, and I was struggling to keep it together on the stream. And that game was just the most insane game, and I'm like trying to like get my thoughts together, and I was feeling so.
And you're hungover.
I was so ill because it's like the game we were chatting at like 1 p.m. the day after. I'm like, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, the dry November is certainly. I always try to do 1 month a year where I'm just completely.
Yeah.
And then I try to keep it to 1 day a week. I'm almost 30, dude.
That's good.
Yeah, gotta turn off the party lights.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I respect it. I'm trying to do it more, and the alcohol. I love it in the moment, but the next days, man, like
Brutal.
I'm getting too old as well.
I do like the comments.
What's that?
I do like the comments. Jeremy is really going in on me.
Where? So, because are you on your phone or computer?
Phone.
Maybe they don't. Yeah, okay.
Well, but Jeremy says that the Pelicans don't want Tobias, and they would be over the cap. Brandon Ingram would take him more than Tobias, so they would not be over the cap, unless it's all the cap rules BS where because Ingram was already on the roster and yada yada yada.
Yeah,
Ingram's got to be making more than Tobias Harris. If he's not, it's a travesty of epic proportions.
Yeah, Tobias. I feel like maybe because that Ingram's contract right now would be like he's the like rookie extension, so probably it could actually be like 26 million around like when he signed it. It's probably very similar.
Is it that low?
Yeah, I'll quickly look it up. Ingram contract.
I'm just curious.
Let's have a guess. Give me a figure. Annual salary.
Got to be 30 plus. 32. 32.
I think you're going to be high. Hang on. Oh, hang on. 36.
Yeah. So how they be on the cap unless it's all the bogus cap rules where you like because he's a player on your team. It's like I'm not Kyle Metz. Let's just say that I don't understand all the cap rules. I don't understand the bird rights and all this BS. I just like to watch the basketball. I don't like to nerd over the cap sheet. That's why whenever I have a question, I ask Kyle. But I'm 99% sure they would not be over the cap in that trade.
Yeah, no. Let's make it happen. Oh, I don't know. I don't know if we want it to happen actually.
I think no. I think again.
Oh, Cody's gone. I'm not sure. When this happened last time, he had a phone call come in, so we'll see if he comes back. But I'm just going to scan through some comments here, guys. I don't think anyone else is coming back up. I'm just checking the chat. But yeah, I'm not sure. I think for me, like Pistons next, Cody with a cliffhanger. Literally, I've had a few of these recently where the people are mid talking and just disappear. Yeah, I'm excited for THJ to return. Tom Hardy, 100%. He's been awesome. He was on the bench tonight with the team. I think he was questionable before the game. So he could be back in Washington, which I think will be huge because I don't think he had a concussion. It's just the stitches in the back of his head. Probably need some more time. But yeah, they need like him and Malik Beasley, like have been awesome this season. Awesome. So Jeremy here, maybe Asar or Holland is a blue chipper. Ivy prior to the injury has made major strides. Why are we always looking for outside help and seeing what we have? Oh, I think we just got to the point of the stream where we're starting to look ahead to the future. But I've actually I just think Asar or Holland can be a part of a core and can be really awesome players in that core. I'm just not sure from what we've seen from them that they are going to be number one or two options on a real team. Me and Cody and I were talking about winning, actually getting to conference finals and the finals. If the Pistons just want to be a fun 4th seed, 5th seed, 6th seed, then I think you could sign Ivy and you could sign Asar and you could eventually get there. But if we're actually talking championships and real winning like this team was in the 2000s, I feel like they're still a guy short. So the draft, we were talking about Cooper Flagg and Ace Bailey because that would come via the draft. Maybe there is a trade where they get that second guy and they consolidate a lot of these young guys. But I mean, I brought up Asar could potentially be that guy if he actually becomes a Kawhi Leonard light. I know that sounds insane, but there's 0.5% of me that thinks he could get there. But I just think Asar and Holland offensively whilst they have lots of flashes, they can finish around the rim athletically, Asar obviously playmaking and handle wise, can do a bit more than Ron, but Ron some of these drives looks great, cutting energy, but just as actual guys that you want to give the ball in high pressure moments, I know they need to develop, but I just don't know I've seen that. And I think Ivy's strides for sure, but I think to me, he's still a guy that would be just a number 3. That's just how I feel right now. So I don't think I don't like when we're talking about this, we're not really giving up on the Pistons young core and saying trade and look for the next thing. I think it's just I just kind of feel like they're missing that true second guy or first guy if Cade's the number 2. So that's all. I'm not out on any of these players. I'm still super intrigued to see Ron Holland develop, and I cannot wait for Asar to come back for many reasons, but one of those being just to see him develop. This is interesting here from Zale. I would rather someone more on Cade's timeline instead of Ingram. The timeline thing for me was a huge deal back like a season or two ago, but I think Ingram was in the 2016 draft. So if he was 19 when he got drafted, he's probably only 27. So like Cade's 23. It's not like, I know it's not like, you obviously want like 24, 25, but I think the timeline thing sometimes is a little bit overblown. Like, I think Ingram and Cade together is probably not like a consistent top 3 team in the East. I don't know. Maybe it could be. But I think the age thing, like if Ingram was nearly 30 or 30, then yeah. But I think a 3 to 4 year gap isn't that bad. Ingram's injury history is what worries me more than the age. Another one from Jeremy here. I'm open to moving Durant because motor equal effort, but Ivy's actually having a great start to the year. Yeah, Ivy, I'm still not worried about. Like I think we discussed the shooting leveling out. He's back to 34% from 3, but overall, like I think he's still being like trending in the right direction. Even if his plays tapered off a little bit recently, but I think for the most part, he's still been a huge positive and taken some serious strides. Yeah, Durant, yeah, I still want it to work. I really do. But after what I saw at the end of last season, like I am, yeah, I just think he of like those first round picks the Pistons have, the 4 or 5 of them, not including Marcus Sasser, like the lottery guys. Like I think he is the one that's at the bottom of me in terms of the ones you want to keep. And a lot of it's just positional value, him being a 5, but just the defensive stuff. It's just I know he's 20, but yeah, I just haven't seen him put it together defensively for a long enough stretch at all for a starting big. Just scanning through some more. I think you guys were going back and forth in here about Durant. These young guys, the amount of conversations we have about them is crazy. Beasley Arrow, Cooper Flag has everything except for a 3-point shot. Is he really 17? Wow. I trust you, but I just want to check this for myself. That's crazy. He is 17. Wow. 17 till December 21st. That's insane. Did he like reclassify or something? Like, is that? I feel like you don't see 17-year-olds in college basketball often. I think we've gone through most of the other ones here, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in. A win is a win with this team. Like I was saying earlier, I'm not sure I'm going to watch this one back. I'll have my recap videos and that kind of thing done for it. But yeah, bit of a rough watch. Nice to see guys like Wendell Moore, Marcus Sasser, and Ron Holland to an extent, Isaiah Stewart. The bench, I thought the energy they brought really was a difference tonight. And it was nice to see them have a moment, help this team win, and you know they get the game ball in my opinion. Particularly Wendell Moore and I thought Sasser in the fourth were huge games from them. So awesome to see them have a moment. But bit of a rough one overall. But Pistons play the Wizards next on Sunday night, I believe, or Monday morning for my friends in Australia. So we'll be back then, as always. But thank you so much. Like, subscribe if you can. I'd really appreciate that. But if not, as always, go Pistons.